Hello, friends. Now, let me introduce Dr. Khadar. Actually, he doesn't require any introduction in the, especially in South India. In South India and especially in Telugu states. But as a customary system, I am introducing Dr. Khadar. He has born in Brazil and he has completed his education from Mysore, his master's from Mysore and PhD from Indian Institute of Science and went to America to pursue further education. And he stayed there for 10 years and pursued research in steroids and returned back to India to serve rural India. And he wants to see a healthy India and Paka Gram Swaraj. He now since 20 years he propagated his Siddhanya, that millets. Newly these millets have been named as a new tree cereals by central government. And now I'm introducing Khadar to have and a rural health issue in regard to the Siddhanya and I requested him to limit himself at 10 minutes and tomorrow or day after tomorrow we are having a group and he will be chief guest in that ceremony. I will free of Siddhanya. Dr. Khadar Butters and okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me, sir?
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, and it's honor and privilege to address the gathering here, GCOC, and our great Mahatma Gandhi's ideals, and trying to visualize and make the dream of Gandhi a reality. One important point I want to bring to the notice of all the people concerned, that the modernization and the technological advances and its utilization in the Grama Swaraj concept are little diametrically opposite. Whatever modernity and technological advances that we try to use for the development of village communities eventually spoils the villageness, the grama content of the villages, because it is the devil of modernity, which is actually diametrically opposite, because the village concept is a decentralization concept, and the modern technological advances always try to centralize everything. So I want to appeal and make the concerned authorities, people who are working towards this dream, to understand that this aspect of modernity and technological advances trying to centralize the concept and the activities is only going to work against the Grama Swaraj dream of Mahatma Gandhi. So the decentralization is the core issue, not only for Mahatma Gandhi's dream, but as COVID proved to the whole world that decentralization is the key essence of sustainability. The more and more you centralize, the more and more the system will fall upon its weight. So, the key players of this concept of Grama Swaraj have to clearly understand the issue of decentralization and value addition of village activities, village produce, village. I would not want to use the word labor, because village people have to work for themselves. So there is no labor involved here. The concept of labor has to be completely eliminated in the dream of Grama Swaraj. So they are the owners of their produce or their activities or their businesses. So the theoretically we should eliminate the concept of labor, because it is the individuals who are the players of the village have to take the ownership. So, but our thought process, the modern centralized so-called technologically based systems always end up in concept of labor. So these very technical and theoretical aspects of Grama Swaraj and trying to integrate the modern technological advances into the system has to be done with lot of diligence and well thought planning. So having said that, I would love to come back to the work that we have been doing for the last 15-20 years. And another essence and key point is that we have to start giving value to the produce that is produced in the villages. Especially, I'm talking about food. And the COVID-19 situation has again proved the point that I have been harping for the last 20 years, that the sustainability and the health depends upon the decentralized production of food materials and managing them there and then. The processing has to be decentralized and the distribution has to be in small zones of 21 kilometers, which is actually the exact ideal model that Gandhi has dreamt of. So all these points, when fall in place, creates Grama Swaraj. And the people around this concept have to respect the food that is produced in the villages without anyone's involvement. So when there are 4 rains, what we can grow are the millets and various kinds of dicotyledons and various kinds of oil seeds. So the processing of these raw produce has to be instituted and guided and taught to the villagers, so that they have the value added materials in their hands, and then they are the owners of the produce to sell. And that's how we can eliminate the concept of labor in this whole process, because they are the owners, they are the producers. And if the city people and all people around give value to this kind of produce, then the villages, which are even today in India approximately 60 to 70%, and luckily India still maintains village community in our population almost to 60 to 70%. But the problem now facing the villages of India is that they are not eating what they are producing. They are eating what the industrialized nations or industrialized food culture. So the farmer is able to produce little millet, foxtail millet, horse gram, but that is not being used as food by the so-called civilized world of the present day. Hence the problems for the farmers. So all the 60-70% of the farmers have got defocused, and they also have been made to eat the produce produced by these so-called irrigation farming communities, which are actually directly laborers for this big industrial corporate culture. So there is this problem that all of us especially in the government organizations, the players, key players, have to recognize this essential and important point. Once we understand that, then our job is to make, and the value addition of the village produce and their work has to be recognized by the other parts of the world. As long as this doesn't happen, we can never ever get self-sustainable, independent village Grama Swarajya system established in our country. So that's why I keep saying, Desi Ahara, Desi Aharam Manam Tinatam Modulu Pedte. When we eat the produce produced by these marginalized farmers, this 70% non-irrigation farmers, when the rain-fed farmers, I'm trying to communicate to you that the irrigation dependent farming community is basically working under the companies of corporate culture. So I am dividing the farming community into rain-fed farmers and irrigation farmers. So the moment we understand this distinction, we know where our job is. So we need to work to bring the value and to bring the respect for the produce that is produced by the villages without depending upon the corporate culture. And that alone gives sustainability to the planet as a whole and health to the human race for coming future generations. And we have been at this point, and we have been establishing bull-driven Ghani oils and marginalized farmers and women producing the siridhanya, that is millet rice, in the villages by themselves. And we have been training thousands of farmers in this regard. And we seem to be seeing a small light, very small light beyond this dark tunnel of modernization. This modernization and technology oriented activities cannot actually bring a sustainable living conditions to the planet. We have to have a balance between human involvement and the technology and machines. So we need to start understanding to de-mechanize ourselves, to de-technology ourselves. So small and appropriate technologies have to be invented such that the complications of modern day centralization are eliminated at the root itself. So speaking this much in short, and because the time has to be considered, considering all the others important schedules, I thank Shyamprasad Reddy Garu and GCOC committees, to members, to having invited me for this wonderful August audience, and my deep felt thanks to all the members. Thank you all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views on Gram Swaraj and how Sigadhanya. And sir, day after tomorrow, we are having a closing ceremony, and we are very much happy to announce that you will be the chief guest on that day, sir. We can have more talk on that day, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.